larger energy mix basket of the country stands a testament to his commitment towards addressing and achieving energy security in a more sustainable manner. And then we all also understand that green hydrogen can be and could be a more viable and a clean option for our oil refineries and towards city gas distribution. So we now invite the views of our Honorable Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Shri Hardeep Singh Puri ji, who is also an author and a former diplomat, having been the permanent representative of India to the United Nations. We seek his views.
My colleague in the cabinet, Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, Secretary in the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Bhupinder Singh Bhalla ji, Principal Scientific Advisor, Professor Ajay Sood, Dr. N. Kalai Selvi, Director General CSIR, dignitaries, representatives from industry, regulatory bodies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here today at this second international conference on green hydrogen. This is a subject which is very dear not only to me personally, to my heart, but I think also in our quest for energy transition. Green hydrogen is the fuel of the future, and I also had the privilege of attending the first international conference on green hydrogen last year. I would like to thank the organizers of this event, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor, the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, the Department of Science and Technology, and my own ministry for setting up this conference at a time when the global conversation around green hydrogen is picking up steam. I am personally convinced that green hydrogen's potential to be the fuel of the future as India looks to meet its decarbonization goals. In doing so, I also believe that India also has the capability to become a leading producer and exporter of green hydrogen and its derivatives. The Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas has undertaken multiple initiatives to boost hydrogen production capacity in India. Around 54% of India's annual hydrogen consumption is utilized in the petroleum refining sector. We are ensuring the uptake of green hydrogen in refineries and city gas distribution through both public sector entities and private sector. The PSUs under the ministry have targeted to produce more than 1 million metric tons of green hydrogen by 2023. They are in the process of floating tenders for procurement of green hydrogen on build, own, operate basis. About 42 KTPA to be increased to 165 KTPA. The Cochin International Airport has signed an MOU with Bharat Petroleum to develop its first green hydrogen plant in the aviation sector. IOCL has handed over a state-of-the-art green hydrogen fuel cell bus to the Indian Navy. 15 of these buses are also flying on Delhi's routes, and when they complete 20,000 kilometers, they will also be carrying members of the commuting public. GAIL has set up a plant capable of producing 4.3 TPD of hydrogen through a 10 megawatt PEM proton exchange membrane electrolyzer at Vijaypur in Madhya Pradesh. India has made significant progress in the hydrogen sector since the last edition of this conference. We have managed an awarding capacity of approximately 3,000 megawatts for electrolyzer manufacturing, 4,12,000 tons per annum for green hydrogen production, and issued tenders for 4,50,000 tons per annum of green hydrogen capacity and 7,39,000 tons per annum of green ammonia production. The efficiency of green hydrogen produced via electrolysis is typically between 60% and 70%, which is higher than the thermal efficiencies of 35% to 60% observed for fossil fuel energy production. Similarly, hydrogen fuel cells are more efficient, 40 to 60%, when it comes to end-use energy conversion efficiency in comparison to internal combustion engines that have about 20 to 30%. Of course, this ignores the biggest benefit, which is the environmental efficiency. Despite energy losses during production and conversion, green hydrogen generates zero direct carbon dioxide emissions. India offers immense potential for hydrogen production. According to the IAEA, the global demand for hydrogen is expected to reach 200 million tons by 2030. India is blessed with abundant natural resources which favor the production of green hydrogen not only for the country but for the entire world. India has a natural advantage in producing green hydrogen due to the low cost and abundance of solar energy and investments in our power grid. India's installed solar capacity has increased by 32 times from 2.6 gigawatt in 2014 to 85.5 gigawatt now. India has also one of the largest synchronous grids in the world capable of handling intermittent renewable energy. India is poised to lead the global green energy demand with rising domestic demand across diverse sectors. With the available engineering talent in our country, India's transition to the greener economy will be a smooth one, helping the country to position itself as a pivotal market for green hydrogen. More than rupees 30 lakh crores of investment is expected to come into the country to meet the ambitious yet achievable target of 500 GW by 2030, including from multilateral development banks which have pledged up to $27 billion for India's green growth. We have enacted the green hydrogen policy with a production target of 5 million tons by 2030 and related developments for renewable energy. Although I saw in the presentation that figure has been raised from 5 million to 7.5 million tons. I welcome the scaling up, and my own experience in other related sectors is that it's only when you have the confidence of achieving the set targets that you begin to scale up, as we did in the case of biofuels when we had a target of 20% blending by 2030, but we felt confident enough to bring that target of 20% blending forward to 2025. The Cabinet has approved the National Green Hydrogen Mission with an initial outlay of rupees 19,744 crores. The achievement of mission targets is expected to reduce a cumulative rupees 1 lakh crores worth of fossil fuel imports by 2030. This is likely to yield over rupees 8 lakh crores in investment and create over 6 lakh jobs. In line with the mission, several states such as Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, Orissa, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu have come up with policies that incentivize the use of green hydrogen. I want to compliment everyone involved in this very important exercise because it is the cumulative effort. The government has set out a whole of government approach which the Secretary, Mr. Bhalla, outlined. Different ministries are working on it. Forgive me if I introduce an element saying that the ultimate success of green hydrogen will be greatly facilitated when our refineries use it in even greater measure. One of our companies, IOCL, has already committed 2 out of its 11 refineries. The outgoing chairman had promised that he will increase that, and I'm sure because the scale at which the refineries can utilize and contribute to green hydrogen will overall set up the scale. I'm confident about India being a success story and a great contributor to the success of green hydrogen for a variety of reasons. Since the gas itself does not lend itself to transportation, it is very important that you require a setting in which there is local demand, local production and local consumption. And that is precisely what I think we are doing. The Honorable Prime Minister, including in his message to us, suggested some of those things, but also I think the time has come for, I think the principal scientific advisor, the secretary, everybody alluded to it. You also need to export. So the green ammonia export targets are very impressive. I see our private sector contributing to that, and I see when all the sectors have come together, it is something that by the time we celebrate the 3rd edition of this conference next year, we would have made even further progress. I have been told that more than 7,000 participants from industry, academia, startups, and over 120 exhibitors will be part of this conference. I look forward to hearing about the outcomes from this event. India requires active support and collaboration among all stakeholders if it wants to position itself as the world's green hydrogen hub. It is a target we must all aim to achieve, and I am very confident that we will achieve it. Thank you very much.